Your dog hears your voice dozens of times a day. The same sounds, the same rhythm, the same face. And somewhere along the way, without a single lesson, something clicked. Not because dogs were taught to decode language the way a child is, but because certain words kept showing up right before something happened. Food appeared, a door opened, a walk began. The outcome taught the word. In 2016, researchers placed 13 dogs inside an fMRI scanner, awake and still, and played them recordings of familiar words in different tones. What they found was striking. The dogs' brains processed word meaning and tone separately in different hemispheres, just as human brains do. The words had landed. They had weight. But recognition and response are not the same thing. A dog can know exactly what a word means and still go quiet, still look away, still freeze. What follows are 5 categories of words your dog has almost certainly mapped to real meaning, and the one most owners are delivering in a way that quietly teaches their dog to stop listening. A wet paw lands on the pale rug, and your voice changes before you even think. No. The dog's head dips. One ear turns back. Maybe the paw lifts. Maybe the whole body goes still, as if someone pressed pause. The room itself can feel suddenly sharper. The dark print spreading in the fibers, the towel still hanging by the door. Your own breath catching, because you meant to stop the mess, not start a storm. That little word is not just a boundary marker. To your dog, it arrives with a temperature. It can sound like guidance, or it can sound like weather turning dangerous. In the 2016 fMRI study with 13 awake dogs, researchers found that familiar word meaning and tone were processed through different brain channels, with the left hemisphere showing sensitivity to word meaning and the right hemisphere responding to tone. That matters in your living room. Your dog may hear the word and the emotional pressure around it at the same time, but not as the same thing. One says, "Stop that." The other may say, "You are unsafe near me." That is where many owners accidentally train hesitation instead of understanding. A calm interruption, followed by a clear alternative, can teach a boundary. A sharp, repeated correction with no way to succeed can teach a dog to brace. The difference can be as small as the space between one low, steady word and 5 louder ones in a row. It can be the difference between pointing to the mat by the door and standing over the dog while the dog guesses what might make the pressure stop. There is survey evidence behind this warning too. Heron, Schofer, and Reisner reported in 2009 that confrontational training methods were associated with fearful or aggressive responses in some dogs. That does not mean every firm voice breaks trust. It means harshness is not a neutral delivery system. It becomes part of the lesson. Think of the dog in the scanner, hearing familiar sounds in different emotional wrappers. The word has weight, but the wrapper decides whether that weight feels like information or threat. So if your dog freezes after a correction, that is not always stubbornness. Sometimes it is a dog trying to avoid making the next wrong move. The safer pattern is simple. Interrupt, lower the emotional volume, then show what earns relief or praise. No should point toward a door, not a wall. Because the same mind that learns a warning word this quickly is also building a quiet map of everything and everyone in the home. You say a family member's name from the hallway, and the dog's eyes flick toward the room where that person usually reads. You mention the old red toy under your breath, and a nose starts searching near the basket by the radiator. Nobody held up flashcards. Nobody gave a lecture. The words settled into place because life kept arranging itself around them. The same chair creaks at the same hour. The same shoes come off near the same mat. The same laugh follows the same name from the kitchen. Over weeks and months, those ordinary repetitions become almost like pins on an invisible map. dogs are not only watching hands and hearing bowls. They are tracking patterns between voices, bodies, locations, and outcomes. A household label can be a person's name, another animal's name, a favorite object, a room, or even a routine phrase that always gathers the same people at the same time of day. Grandma's here may mean a slower walk to the door and a softer pair of hands. Find your duck may mean the faded plush thing with one flat wing, not the tennis ball sitting right beside it. Kitchen may mean smells, tiles, dropped crumbs, and everyone standing closer together. And some dogs show remarkable word learning ability when given the chance. In a 2004 science study, a border collie named Rico was able to infer the name of a new object by exclusion. When surrounded by familiar items and one unfamiliar one, he selected the novel object after hearing a novel word, and he retained that link 4 weeks later without extra practice. That does not mean every dog is secretly carrying a huge dictionary. It means the capacity is real. Another border collie, Chaser, was tested in peer-reviewed work after intensive, structured training and learned the names of 1,022 objects. That was extraordinary, not casual background listening. Still, ordinary dogs learn ordinary labels every day. Where's your ball may mean scan the floor. Go to bed may mean move toward the soft mat in the corner. Dad's home may pull the body toward the front window before anyone reaches the handle. Remember how the outcome taught the word when food appeared or a walk began. Household labels work the same way, only the outcomes are social. A face appears, a person laughs, another dog trots in, a toy is found, a door opens into a familiar room. Someone bends down in the exact way that usually means affection is available. Your dog is not merely obeying commands like a machine waiting for buttons. They are living inside a web of repeated clues, and language is one strand of that web. Once you notice that, the house feels different. Your casual sentences are not background noise. They are landmarks. And among all those landmarks, one sound is usually brighter than the rest, the dog's own name. What ordinary household word does your dog seem to know without ever being taught? Tell me the exact word, because those accidental labels often reveal the map they have been building. The name can travel across a room faster than a tossed toy. Your dog is half asleep, chin heavy on the floor, and you say that one familiar sound. One eyebrow lifts, the tail tip taps once, then nothing else happens. Many owners read that moment as selective hearing, but the tiny response already tells you something. The sound was recognized. The question is what your dog thinks usually comes after it. Maybe the name comes from the sofa in a warm voice, followed by a pat on the cushion. Maybe it comes from the doorway with keys in hand, followed by the best part of the day. Or maybe it comes from the bathroom, where the nail clippers are waiting on the counter. A dog's name is often treated like a remote control, but to the dog, it may be closer to a shoulder tap. It says, "This next thing concerns you." That next thing may be wonderful, boring, confusing, or unpleasant. If the name is followed by play, dinner, a greeting, or a cheerful request, it stays bright. If the name is repeated 10 times while the dog is already distracted, it starts to fade into wallpaper. If it often comes before irritation, grooming battles, or being dragged away from something interesting, the dog may learn to hear it and lower their head instead of coming alive. Recognition is not the same as willingness. That is the quiet piece many owners miss. A dog can know their name perfectly and still choose stillness because the history attached to that sound is messy. Picture how often the name gets used in one evening. It may be called for a photo, then for a dropped sock, then because the dog is blocking the hallway, then because someone wants a cuddle, then because the dog is chewing something that should not be chewed. It may come from 3 different people in 3 different moods, one laughing, one distracted, one annoyed from the other room. The dog hears the same label carrying invitations, complaints, requests, warnings, and background chatter. The word becomes overloaded. No single meaning can survive that much traffic. A cleaner habit is to use the name once, softly enough that it still feels personal. Then give the real cue. Name, pause, direction. If the dog looks at you, pay that attention with something useful: praise, movement, permission, or clear guidance. And when you are frustrated, try not to turn the name into a siren. Use a separate interruption word, then help the dog succeed. This protects the name from becoming a warning label. The goal is not a dog who snaps to attention like a soldier. The goal is a dog who hears their name and feels safe enough to check in. Once the name has done that first gentle job, another phrase can carry the much bigger job, returning all the way back to you. Out in a damp yard, the world is louder than your voice. Grass holds the scent of night animals. A neighbor's gate clicks. Somewhere, a leaf skates along the fence line. Your dog is reading all of it with their nose. Their head lowers by the fence post, then lifts toward the compost bin, then turns because a faint trail crosses the path where yesterday's rain collected in shallow dents. To you, it is a backyard. To the dog, it is a fresh newspaper written over yesterday's edition. Then you use your recall phrase, and for 1 second, the body decides, keep investigating or turn back toward the human. That decision is not made only in that second. It is made from the history you have built. A recall phrase becomes strong when it consistently predicts good things close to you: relief, connection, a reward, a game, or being released again after checking in. It weakens when it always ends the fun. If every return means the leash tightens, the park disappears, or something unpleasant begins, the word becomes a trapdoor. Dogs are very good at noticing trapdoors. They notice the hand reaching for the clip, the change in your posture, the sigh before you leave, the way the word arrives only when freedom is about to shrink. Tone helps too. Research on dog-directed speech suggests puppies, especially, may show more attention and approach toward the higher, more animated speech people naturally use with dogs. With adult dogs, the picture is less simple, but warm, clear prosody can still make engagement easier. Not baby talk as magic, more like a porch light. It makes the path back easier to find. The reward word can help here because it marks the instant the dog makes the right choice. A crisp yes as the dog turns their head can tell them that movement counted. Then the real reward arrives when they reach you. Sometimes that reward is food. Sometimes it is a quick game, a hand target, praise, or permission to run back to the smell they left. That last one matters. If coming back does not always cancel the dog's joy, coming back becomes less expensive. Even a brief return, a touch at your hand, and then a cheerful release can change the whole meaning of the phrase over time. The recall phrase is not just obedience, it is a trust test repeated in tiny ways. When your dog chooses your voice over a moving squirrel scent or a muddy patch of fascinating information, they are not only responding to a sound, they are answering a question their life with you has already asked many times. Is it safe? And is it worth it to come closer? And tucked inside many successful returns is a tiny word with an outsized job. The word that tells your dog the right thing just happened. That tiny word is easy to underestimate because nothing obvious may be visible yet. Your dog sits on the mat, you say yes, and the ears brighten before your hand moves, before the toy appears, before the reward reaches the mouth. That reaction can look like mind reading. It is not. It is timing. Dogs do not only respond to the reward they can see, they respond to the sound that has reliably predicted the reward again and again. A reward word is powerful because it catches a moment that would otherwise vanish. The paws touched the mat at 7:14:03. The snack arrived at 7:14:06. 3 seconds is not long for a human, but for a dog learning cause and effect, it can be a foggy little canyon. The marker word builds a bridge across it. That exact thing. Without that bridge, the dog may wonder if the reward was for sitting, for shifting a paw, for looking at your pocket, or for standing up just as your hand arrived. With it, the picture becomes cleaner. This is why consistency matters more than volume or excitement. If yes always means a good outcome is coming, the word becomes clean. If good sometimes marks success, sometimes fills silence, sometimes means please stop bothering me, and sometimes comes with no outcome at all, the edges blur. The dog may still enjoy your voice, but the word loses precision. There is also a trust layer hiding inside reward language. When a sound promises something and regularly keeps that promise, the dog's nervous system can relax into the pattern. They try more. They offer attention more easily. They recover faster from uncertainty because the conversation has a clear signal. This does not require constant food or a circus of prizes. It requires honesty. Say the marker when you can follow it with something the dog actually values. Use the same word. Keep the tone bright, but not frantic. Let the reward match the effort. A tiny glance may earn a soft praise and a smile. A difficult choice, like leaving a dropped piece of trash alone on a busy sidewalk, deserves something better. The word can be small, but the promise behind it should feel solid. A treat from your pocket, a tossed toy, a chance to move, a warm hand, access to the thing the dog was hoping for. Over time, that little reward word becomes one of the most generous sounds in your dog's world, not because it buys behavior, but because it makes your meaning clear. Trust grows when the sound keeps its promise. The voice your dog hears dozens of times a day is not just background noise. It has been quietly organizing their world, sorting sounds into meaning, mapping outcomes to moments, building a picture of what to expect and when to trust it. Every recalled name, every marker, every correction carries a history the dog has been compiling without anyone asking them to. That is the part most owners miss. The real lesson was never in the formal training session. It was in the Tuesday morning, the distracted afternoon, the walk where nothing was practiced and everything was absorbed anyway. The same sounds, the same rhythm, the same face, and somewhere in that steady repetition, a mind that has been listening far more carefully than most people ever realized. If this made you listen to your own voice a little differently, leaving a like helps this quieter kind of dog behavior story reach the people who need it. Subscribe if you want more of these close looks at the hidden meanings dogs attach to our ordinary habits, because the next one will keep following the small signals most owners walk past. And tell me in the comments, which word in your home do you think your dog has learned most strongly, and what usually happens right after they hear it?